this, man, Lord. Pass the big scam when he stretch a disc.
Coach, thanks. We're about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Chargers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check, ready. H again. Mark the 59. Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the run, Luck on a throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Luck. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 24-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, it's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the 50, Newton. This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here we go, here we go. Small. West. 57.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down. Newton. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Look out! 140! 56. Hey, keep it up! Keep it up! 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. We ain't giving up nothing.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Look out! You must be getting 12. No. Me. Mike 56. Mike 56. Check pass.
3rd and 2, Luck. And he'll find Hall. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. A shotgun snap for Lott. Forced out to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage.
56. Down to lose one. You go tight.
On 2nd down now, it's Gordon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Break. Look out. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Back to throw, Love. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Now the 2nd-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Back to the ground on 1st, it's McCaffrey. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 35-yard line.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run. This is Scarborough. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down. Here we go on fourth. Newton. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Newton. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and complete.
Intended for TJ Moore. It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cam, option left. He's got the first down inside the 10. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Gun.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Chargers' 9-yard line.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the twist.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? McCaffrey. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Well, a pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. DJ Reed, who played in college at Kansas State, made the tackle.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Love. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. Now Newton on 1st down. Going up top. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At their own 39-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now, the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore. As the first half is winding down. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3.
Makes the score Panthers 17, Chargers 3.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. That's fielded in the end zone. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Great.
A gain of 3, second down.
Gun.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Right to the 3. 56. I'm coming after you.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Newton. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of this. Gordon loses the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I'm scared. Great.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. That's Samuel, caught left side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Newton. Being chased out left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Newton. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
Keep playing. A gain on the play. First down, Panthers.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day,
in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Gun, gun, gun.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Check. 57. 20. 57.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton under pressure again, and down he goes again. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Got an open man. It's Ratley. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On 2nd down, Eckler. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. The former Maryland Terp, Jermaine Carter Jr. had the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get it.
3rd and long. It's Luck. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And they're going to